Ciao a tutti Napolitano, and this week I got a really fun little thing to show you guys. I say on some of my videos that an accordion has thousands of moving parts in it, and some family and friends have come up to me and they're like, how is that possible? Is it really? Yes, it is. And I'm going to show you. I actually bought an old accordion online for like hardly any money, just to also to teach myself certain things. Now, I'm not a mechanic. I don't claim to be. I go to my friend Emilio, who has a shop in White Plains. He's a professional accordionist, from playing to fixing and everything. He's been doing it for years. That's where I go. And that's where people go to get things fixed. But I am mechanically inclined, and I do like taking things apart and learning how things work. So if I can do something myself, I will. So let me just show you. I took an accordion apart right here. This is an old accordion. I'll show it to you right here like that. See? And I took it apart just to show you. These are the bellows, right? These things that make air when you pull and push. That's the bellows that forces air through the accordion. And this is the bass part of it. These are giant reeds. That's what they look like. All right. There's holes at the bottom, so they're like giant harmonicas. That's what a reed looks like. Okay. And different notes correspond to different reeds. Obviously, I don't know what this note is. I have no idea because they're all fell apart in here. But they're held together by beeswax. Okay. And each note, see that the holes, I'm going to blow some air through here, because you shouldn't do it by mouth. But anyway, I'll let you hear what it sounds like. You could hear that, right? The different notes. Okay, so basically it's like two giant harmonicas, and there's 3 sets in this particular accordion on the bass part of it. See where you push down here, you push a note down there, and a reed will open, or a passageway will open to force air, depending on what note that is, through the reed, and it plays. So that's just a tiny little bit. I mean, all these. There's 120, this is a full-size accordion, so there's 120 buttons here, all corresponding to different notes, which attaches to a rod, that attaches to a rod, that attaches to a rod, that attaches. So you could see, that's just 120 buttons alone. That's not included what's inside this accordion and how it all comes together. It's a fine work of art, made by hand, by professionals. And here's this other side here. This is the treble. Oops, hold on. I'm caught. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is the treble side, okay, where the keys are. So you'll see that the keys, see, are attached to a rod that's attached to a pad with felt underneath that. And when the bellows here pull back and forth, they make air in the chamber. All right, air goes through these, the reeds on this side. There's also reeds like that on this side. And when you push a button down, it opens up, allows a note to open up where air comes out of the chamber and makes a sound. So look at all the parts here. Tons and tons of rods and springs and keys. That's just to give you a tiny little bit of an idea. There's the other reeds inside. See? So this is just some fun facts, and why people, people ask me how could there be that many parts? So I just thought I'd show you. So just a fun little video. And again, I don't pretend to know what I'm doing. There's reeds that fell out of here, so you have to figure out what reeds go in what spot, and that's where a pro comes in. And this has to all be waxed back in. Beeswax is what holds everything in here. This is all beeswax. So obviously, the older an accordion gets, or if you leave it in the heat or something like that, it's a very delicate instrument. God forbid you drop it or whatever. They're very delicate instruments. But just to give you an idea, I know people like these informative little things. Let me get you closer up here. Hold on a minute. I don't have professional recording camera equipment like other vloggers do. I'm simple and to the point, and yeah, this is how it works. Okay, and that's what it looks like inside. These levers will open up, which will cause a spot when you pull back and forth. It'll open up a chamber, and the chamber will let air in, and the reeds will play. So here's another one that just popped off somewhere. I have no idea where all these come from, but I purposely did this just to show you guys a fun fact. And this is just a tiny, look at all these parts right here. A tiny little bit, a tiny little smidgen of what an accordion looks like. More complicated accordions, more buttons. This is pretty much a basic intermediate to beginner accordion. At one time it was. So imagine like some of the other ones that I play, my full-size accordions and stuff like that, accordions like that, how many more pieces it has. So just a fun thing. Hope you enjoyed it. Anybody wants to comment or whatever, again, I am not a professional accordion mechanic by any way, so I'm not telling you how to fix it or anything like that. You should never touch your very expensive and beautiful accordion unless you really know what you're doing, because you could destroy it and you could make hundreds of dollars worth of damage just tuning an accordion. You know, pros like my friend Emilio who tune these accordions. It could take days just to tune an accordion. Days. It could take weeks to tune an accordion. It is just you know, it's a very intricate thing. You know, they just to give you an idea, these if they have to tune, it's like when we tune our guitars, you know, you put it on a machine and the string is longer or shorter. There's certain little, this thing here, all right, to tune these reeds, they have to file certain parts of this reed. Hear that? To make it sharper or flatter. They actually file down, and these pads here have to be perfect where no air escapes. Otherwise the accordion doesn't have good compression. There's so many different things. I'm going to stop there. I don't want to confuse anybody. It's just, and I don't want to pretend like I know again that I'm a mechanic. It's just a fun thing to show you what an accordion looks like inside. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know. Ask me any questions you want, and if I come across any other fun things, I'll let you know. Ciao a tutti. I'd like to show you all what I meant by what's inside the accordion right here. So here's a button, right? See all these levers and stuff? So here's a button, right, per se, up here. You push a button here, right, which activates this lever. So this lever is connected to, hold on, let me get something to point out. This lever is connected to that lever. That's connected to that lever. All these are levers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a whole bunch of levers happening in there. Opening chambers inside, opening spots where the air comes through. So this one button is connected to all that. All right, so is the one behind that, the one behind that. See? So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of what's just the inside, this side alone. And again, this is one of a basic, you know, not that complicated of an accordion compared to other ones. Yeah.